Today we're going to talk about factorials. So factorial is when you see the exclamation point. So if you have, for example, 5 exclamation point, that's a factorial because there's an exclamation point there. And that's the same as 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. So it's 5, so it's your beginning number here, times every number below it until 1. So we don't go negative, we just go to 1. So it does have a finite number of terms to it. So let's say that we wanted to simplify. Let's say we wanted to simplify 10 factorial over maybe 13 factorial. Well, I can't really divide the 10 by 13. That's not how this works. So this would be the same as 10, the numerator, times 9, times 8, times 7, times 6, all the way down to 1. In my denominator, I would have 13 times 12 times 11 times 10 times 9, all the way down to 1. And if I simplify that, I have the same factors of 10 in the numerator and the denominator, 9, and also 8, 7, 6, all the way down to 1. So this actually simplifies so that what's left in the numerator, if I simplify all of that, I just get 1 in my numerator, because I've gotten rid of all of this, over 13 times 12 times 11, which is 1,716. So 10 factorial divided by 13 factorial would be the same as 1 over 1,016. Let's do another example of this. So let's say that you were doing 20 factorial over 15 factorial. Well, don't be tempted to divide the 20 by 15. You're not simplifying that because these are factorials. It's not 20 over 15. So 20 factorial would be like 20 times 19 times 18 times 17 times 16 times 15, all the way down to 1. And then 15 factorial is 15 times 14 times 13 times 12, all the way down to 1. And similar to the question above it, I have factors of 15 all the way down to 1 in both my numerator and my denominator. So in this case, this simplifies to 20 times 19 times 18 times 17 times 16, which gives me 1,860,480. Now, they can get a little more complicated than that, so let's do another example. Let's say that I had 7 factorial over 2 factorial 5 factorial. So I'm just going to expand this. So again, in my numerator, I have 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1 over. Okay, 2 factorial is 2 times 1. 5 factorial, these are being multiplied together, the 2 and the 5. Those are being multiplied together. So this would be 2 times 1 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. So I'm going to simplify this. So I've got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Those all cancel in the numerator and the denominator. And you can multiply these out, but I know that 6 divided by 2, that's going to be 3. So really, this is going to be 7 times 3 over 1, which is 21. Let's look further. What if I had x plus 4 factorial over x factorial? So let's expand this. So this would be x plus 4, and then 1 less than that would be like x plus 3. 1 less than that would be x plus 2. 1 less than that would be x plus 1. 1 less than that would be x. If I keep going, it would be x minus 1, etc. Now I don't know what x is, so this would just go on until basically I don't know. But this would be like factorial at the end, divided by x factorial, which would be x times x minus 1 times x minus 2, etc. forever. So I do end up with x in both my numerator and my denominator, and everything past that, my numerator and my denominator. So my answer here, I'm not going to have you multiply that whole thing out, would be x plus 4 times x plus 3 times x plus 2 times x plus 1. Okay. Let's do one more example here. Let's say I had x minus 4 factorial times x factorial all over x plus 1 factorial. So again, I'm just going to expand this out. So this would be like x minus 4 times x minus 3, or sorry, x minus 5, I'm subtracting one more, times x minus 6, etc. So I'm just going to write factorial because it's just going to go until we hit 1, which we don't know where that is, times x minus 1, times x minus 2, and again, factorial because I don't know where that ends, all over x plus 1, and then I'm going to, 1 less than that would be x, 1 less than that would be x minus 1, x minus 2, etc. And so I'm going to cancel out the factors that I have in the numerator and the denominator. That'd be x minus 1, x minus 2, all of those. And then I also have x plus 1. Oops. In my denominator. So this would become x minus 4 times x minus 5 times x minus 6 all over x plus 1. All right, so that is it for factorials. The last thing I wanted to say is there is a factorials button on your calculator. That'll only work when you have a number. So if you have 5 factorial, you can plug it in. But if you have n factorial, it's not going to work. So that button is under PRB on the calculator, and then number 3 says factorial. So you could put into the calculator 5 factorial or 5 factorial divided by 3 factorial. That will give you an answer, but it will not work for like x factorial over x plus 1 factorial, right? This won't work because it's not going to give you anything for an answer. You can't put a variable in your calculator.